Welcome back to Healthy Habit Hub, where we explore the most effective ways to maintain a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Today, we're going to dive into something that's everywhere right now: intermittent fasting. Maybe you've heard about it from friends, seen influencers on social media raving about it, or even read about its supposed health benefits. But what's the real story? Let's uncover the scary truth about intermittent fasting and help you figure out if it's something you should even consider. Spoiler alert, it's not as simple as it sounds. So, what is intermittent fasting anyway? The concept is pretty straightforward. It's an eating pattern that alternates between periods of eating and periods of fasting. But unlike a traditional diet, intermittent fasting doesn't dictate what you eat, but when you eat. This makes it attractive to a lot of people. No specific meal plans or counting calories all day. Sounds appealing, right? Well, before you jump into it, let's break down some of the most common types of intermittent fasting. 1. The 16-8 method. This one's pretty popular. 1. You fast for 16 hours and have an 8-hour window where you eat your meals. 1. A lot of people choose to skip breakfast and eat from noon to 8 p.m. 2. The 5.2 method. This one's a bit different. 2. You eat normally 5 days of the week, and on 2 non-consecutive days, you severely restrict calories, around 500 to 600 calories for the day. 3. Eat, stop, eat. This method involves fasting for a full 24 hours once or twice a week. 4. Alternate day fasting. This one's more extreme. You alternate between days of normal eating and days of fasting or very low-calorie intake. There's also OMAD, or one meal a day, where you fast for 23 hours and eat a single large meal in 1 hour. This is one of the more intense approaches, and I definitely recommend thinking twice before trying something this restrictive. But just because there are different ways to do intermittent fasting doesn't mean it's a one-size-fits-all solution. In fact, while fasting might seem like an easy fix for weight loss or health improvement, it can be way more complicated than just skipping a few meals. So let's talk about why people are so hyped about intermittent fasting in the first place. One of the biggest selling points of intermittent fasting is the potential weight loss. The idea is simple. By shortening the time you're allowed to eat, you naturally end up consuming fewer calories. This can lead to weight loss, especially if you're not overeating during your eating window. Some research even suggests that fasting can boost your metabolism in the short term, making your body burn calories more efficiently. Then there's the mental clarity that some people experience while fasting. Have you ever felt foggy after a big meal? Well, the idea is that by fasting, you allow your body to focus less on digesting food and more on brain function. Some people claim to feel sharper and more focused when they're in a fasted state. Another potential benefit that gets talked about is blood sugar regulation. Fasting can improve insulin sensitivity, which can help prevent spikes and crashes in blood sugar levels. This is why some studies suggest intermittent fasting may be helpful for people at risk of type 2 diabetes. Let's not forget about the idea of longevity. You've probably seen headlines that intermittent fasting can help you live longer. These claims are based on studies in animals, which show that fasting can extend lifespan. But, and this is important, we don't have enough solid evidence to make the same claim for humans yet. While the idea of living longer is definitely appealing, we need more research before we can really say intermittent fasting is a ticket to longevity. Now, all of that sounds pretty great, right? But here's where things get a little tricky. There's a dark side to intermittent fasting that people often don't talk about. Let's start with nutrient deficiencies. When you limit the hours or days you're eating, there's a higher risk that you'll miss out on essential vitamins and minerals. If you're not careful about what you're eating during your meals, you could end up lacking crucial nutrients like calcium, iron, and even protein. Over time, this can lead to fatigue, weakened immune function, and a host of other health problems. Your body needs a balance of nutrients to function properly, and fasting doesn't magically change that. Next, there's the issue of hormonal imbalances, especially for women. Fasting can impact reproductive hormones like estrogen and progesterone. If you're a woman and your body senses that it's not getting enough food, it can shut down or alter processes like your menstrual cycle. Some women have reported irregular periods, fertility issues, and even early menopause symptoms from prolonged intermittent fasting. And what about overeating? A lot of people assume that if they fast for 16 or 24 hours, they'll just naturally eat less. But what often happens is the opposite. They get so hungry during their fasting periods that when they finally do eat, they binge. This can not only lead to weight gain, but also create an unhealthy cycle of restriction and overeating. Intermittent fasting can also be problematic for those with a history of eating disorders. The practice of fasting and then eating in a controlled window can trigger disordered eating behaviors. If you have a history of anorexia, bulimia, or binge eating, intermittent fasting could exacerbate these tendencies. Speaking of who shouldn't try intermittent fasting, let's get specific. If you have medical conditions like diabetes, heart issues, or low blood pressure, you should definitely consult a healthcare professional before trying fasting. People with chronic illnesses, those on medication that requires regular food intake, and anyone who's recovering from surgery should steer clear. And if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, intermittent fasting is a no-go. Your body needs a constant supply of nutrients to support your baby's development, and fasting can interfere with that. It's just not worth the risk. Okay, so now we've covered some of the risks. But what does science say about intermittent fasting? Is it really as magical as some people claim? Let's bust some myths. Myth number 1. Intermittent fasting is the best way to lose weight. Fact. While intermittent fasting can help some people reduce their calorie intake, it's not a guaranteed solution. If you're overeating during your eating window or choosing unhealthy foods, you're not going to lose weight. And remember, calories still matter even with fasting. Myth number 2. Fasting boosts your metabolism indefinitely. Fact. Fasting can increase your metabolism temporarily, but if you fast too often or too long, your body might go into survival mode. When this happens, your metabolism can actually slow down, making it harder to burn calories. Myth number 3. Intermittent fasting is safe for everyone. Fact. Nope. Not everyone's body responds well to fasting. Some people might feel great on a 16.8 schedule, while others might feel dizzy, irritable, or exhausted. It's all about listening to your body and knowing your limits. If you're still curious about trying intermittent fasting, that's okay. But there are some important tips to keep in mind to make sure you do it safely. 1. Start slow. 1. Don't dive right into a 24-hour fast. 1. Begin with a 12-hour fasting window and see how your body reacts before trying longer fasts. 2. Stay hydrated. 2. It's crucial to drink plenty of water while fasting. 2. Dehydration is a common side effect, and it can make you feel worse. 3. Eat nutrient-dense meals. 3. When you do eat, make sure your meals are packed with vitamins, minerals, protein, and healthy fats. 3. The goal is to give your body the fuel it needs, even in a shorter window. 4. Listen to your body. 4. If you feel lightheaded, overly tired, or just off, intermittent fasting might not be right for you. 4. It's okay to stop and reassess if it's not working for your body. So, is intermittent fasting the right choice for you? Well, that depends. For some, it's a helpful tool for weight management and improved health. But for others, it can be a slippery slope leading to nutrient deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, and even disordered eating habits. The key is to prioritize your health, listen to your body, and make an informed decision. And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to health. What works for one person might not work for another. If you're thinking about giving intermittent fasting a try, consult a healthcare professional first. They can help you figure out whether fasting is appropriate for your individual health needs and guide you on how to do it safely. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Healthy Habit Hub for more content about staying fit, healthy, and balanced. And if you know someone who's considering intermittent fasting, be sure to share this video with them so they can make an informed choice too. Take care of your health, and I'll see you next time.